Hello, folks. Patrick here. How you doing? So today I'd like to shed light on yet another aspect of native English, right? That's what this channel is all about anyway. It's about focusing on what helps you speak like a native speaker. It's Aslan, English speak like a native. So obviously that's the focus of the channel. And one of the things that help you sound more like a native speaker is knowing how to pronounce letter T. It's a bit tricky, right? Because it depends on what word it actually happens in, what word it occurs in, and what sounds is it surrounded by, right? So you got to look at the sounds before it and after it. That's what decides how T is going to be pronounced. So now I want to walk you through 4 basic ways, right, to pronounce the letter T. Very important. And so the 4 ways are these. First one is tapped. Tapped. What does tapped means? Tapped, that means we make the sound T, or the letter T, softer. We say it softly. It sounds like a vibration sort of thing, right? Because the tongue, the tip of the tongue vibrates, and it very quickly touches the gum behind your teeth, behind the upper teeth. And so as a result, you have that tapped sound, like da, 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 da. Do you see? Maybe you can see even my tongue, the tip of my tongue, quickly going up and down. Da, 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 like that, right? So when does that happen? That happens usually when you have the letter T between 2 vowels, right? So if you have the word, for example, waiter, okay, waiter, you got A and you got those are 2 vowels surrounding the letter T. So then T becomes softer, becomes a tap T. Waiter. I don't say waiter. I say waiter. I don't say better. I say better, right? I don't say traitor. Traitor. You can see that word on the screen there, right? So whenever you have 2 vowels and the letter T is smack in the middle, then you know that you have to make it tapped. All right. It sounds like a r sound, r sound. Right. Now, that's the first way. The second way is aspirated, right? Aspirated T. So what does that mean, aspirated? When you produce the T, when you see the T actually in the beginning of the word, right? So it is the initial sound of the word. For example, like 10. You see that word on the screen, the first example, right? 10, or top, or time, or tip, or top, whatever, any word you think about that starts with letter T. Then you can hear there's a puff of air, like a puff of air coming out of my mouth when I say that letter T, right? T, 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 like that. It's very strong. And the reason that it's strong is because it's happening in the beginning of the word. So that's how we say it. And we call it aspirated. Aspirated. All right. Now, the third way is actually glottalized. Glottal. All right. It's a glottal sound. What is a glottal sound? Glottal sound comes from the throat. When we abruptly block the air coming out of our mouth, we block it by closing our throat, by cutting off the air abruptly, like that. So if I say, and then I stop all of a sudden, I'm basically blocking the air off. And so that's a glottal, we call it a glottal stop. We use that quite a lot because sometimes you have combinations of sounds that are hard to produce, or, when you produce, they don't sound very good. So you drop the T just to make it easier for the process to work. And so the glottal stop is just a way, it's like you're deleting it, but you're not deleting it. There's a glottal sound, right? So we have Irish people, Scottish people, some regions in Britain that actually pronounce the letter T as a glottal stop. So expect to hear wea, not waiter or waiter. They say wea. They don't say better. They say better, right? So if let's imagine a sentence. If you say, what about that waiter? What about that waiter? So you're not going to hear that from those people, right? You're going to hear, What about that waiter? What about that waiter? See, they speak like that. There's a very, very, famous, comedian, I believe, and I forgot his name, but I will look it up and I will put his name up on the screen. Not only British people use it, Americans and Australians use it, but in very specific situations, and I will show you some examples, a bit later. All right, so here we go. Now, the last way is omitted, right? So omitted, that means deleted. That means we remove the sound. We just remove it altogether. And that happens, again, in certain situations where we believe that the combination of sounds is not that easy to produce. So we decide to drop the T altogether. A very good example of that, and it's not the only example, but a very good example of that when you have N before the T. Think about N and T like a couple, right? They don't like each other very well, but the N is very bossy, it's very intimidating, it's very scary for the T, and it makes T shrink and disappear, right? And so that's what I want you to imagine here. So, for example, when you got a word like internet, you don't hear internet, you're going to hear a lot of people saying internet. So internet, what's happening is that the T is being dropped here. I'm not saying the T, I'm just saying internet. I'm not saying entertainment, I'm saying entertainment. I'm not saying international, I'm saying international. If you hear carefully, you will notice that I'm not saying actually the letter T here because the N is dominating. It's dominating it, so it's making it disappear. So there are many, many situations where we drop the T altogether because it's more convenient. Okay? So that's omitted T. So let's take a look at those sentences and see what we're dealing with here. Okay. So now let's go through some sentences. And what I would like you to do, just like I did with the example, you can see on the screen, example, the trader was caught last night at 10 p.m., right? And you can see the TGOTA. So they refer to the ways, the methods in which we are changing the pronunciation of T. So T is tapped, G is glottal or glottalized, O is omitted, T again for tapped, and A is aspirated. All right. So that's what I would like you to do. You can work with me if you want. You can grab a pen and a piece of paper. And, as I read those sentences, I'd like you to take notes and decide for yourself if you can hear the aspirated T or the tapped T or the omitted T, etc. All right. So there you go. I'll start with number 1. Okay. I'll talk to you first thing in the morning. Number 2. What is that about? What are you laughing at? Number 3. The internet is vital in the 21st century. Okay, number 4. I told the waiter he isn't going to get any tip from us. Number 5. The last thing I want to do tonight is upset you. Now don't look at all the T's that are in the text, only the ones that are underlined. So you look at the word century, for example, right? It has T. But like I said before, it's not underlined. The T here is not underlined. So it doesn't count. And the reason it doesn't count is because this is part of another consonant that is ch now. Why? Because I got TU. And the combination of TU produces the consonant ch, century, century. So it's not strictly T anymore. That's why it's not underlined. Okay, so let's go over it, right? Let's see what happened. I'll talk to you first thing in the morning. So you got T in talk, that's starting the word. T in to, that's starting the word. And you have k before it. So then I have to make them both aspirated. So I'll say, I'll talk to you first thing in the morning. Now, what am I doing here? First thing in the morning. I got T, but I got S behind the T. I got S before the T. And then I got TH after the T. Now think of this. Very difficult to say first thing. Very difficult. Just try it out. See how hard it is. It's hard to say first thing. It's hard to pronounce the T before TH and when it's after S. So in that situation, I'm just dropping the T. I'm saying first thing. That's it. Much easier. First thing in the morning. It's hard. It's still hard, but it's not as hard as saying first thing in the morning. There's no way you can speak faster and more fluently if you have to say the T in that S. So most native speakers, even though they may not be aware of it, they will drop that T. They may not be aware of it. If you talk to a native speaker, you know, they will tell you, well, I don't know. I'm not aware that I'm doing that. I don't know if I'm deleting it or not. You know, I think I'm saying it, but they're not saying it. Trust me, if they speak fast, they're not saying it. Okay? You know, unless you're Queen Elizabeth or something. I don't know, right? But most people, right, you know, just everyday people, everyday English, you know, you drop that T in that situation. Number 2, what is that about? What is that about? All right, I got T in what? Now I got a behind it. I got I or schwa sound vowel after it. So now between two vowels, it's tapped. So what is, I say what is, and then I say what is that about? Again, I got a in that. I got schwa sound in about, the first sound in about, the letter A. So those are two vowels. The T is right in between. So then it'll be a tapped T. So I say that about, that about. So now, what is that about? What is that about? What is that about? Now, the final T in about is glottal. I don't have to make it glottal, but a lot of people do. So I say about. I'm not saying about. I'm not saying about. I'm saying about. What is that about? Okay? And then I continue, what are you laughing at? I say, what are you? I say, what are you? So I got, again, in what? I got another vowel, R, right? The A in R, that's a vowel. So now T is in between. So it's a tapped T. What are you? What are you? What are you laughing at? Laughing at. I'm not saying at. So it's a glottal. That final T is a glottal stop. I can, of course, say it. I can say, what are you laughing at? I can pronounce a T, but a lot of people drop it. What are you laughing at? Right? And I just abruptly block that air coming out at the end. And so that T sounds like a glottal stop. Okay, number 3, the internet is, all right, I got T after N in internet. Remember what I said about the bossy N? The internet, so I say the internet. So now I'm just basically, the T is vanished, all right? The T is vanished now. It's not there, all right? It's decimated. It's destroyed. So the internet is the tap T in internet. You got E in internet, the E behind the T, the E before T, and then you got the I, the vowel schwa sound. The internet is, that's tapped. The internet is. The internet is. Vital. Vital. I is vowel, and the schwa sound, the A letter, right? It's a schwa sound. That's a vowel. So now it's a tap T. So vital, 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 vital. It's also tapped. So now, so the internet, the first T in internet is, you tell me, you should know right now, it's omitted, right? It's omitted. And the second T is tapped. The T in vital is tapped. And then 20, it's aspirated. 20, 20, 20, because it's in the beginning of the word. 20. But then you got the bossy N, you know, coming in again here, and you can, the T is gone. So 20. I say 20, 20, not 20, 20. I can say 20, but it's 20, right? And then first century. Here you go. Now I got first century. Just try. Just don't take my word for it. Just try to say first century. Not easy to say first century. It's very difficult. Okay, so I drop the T here. All right, I omit it. I drop it. I say first century. So I finish with s and I continue with s, first century. Much easier, right? Number 4. I told the waiter he isn't going to get any tip from us. All right, so I told the waiter. T in told is aspirated because it's the beginning. I told the waiter. Then you got the T in waiter is in the middle between two vowels, so it's tapped, waiter. I told the waiter he isn't, because I got the N here, remember? You know, the T goes away, so he isn't gonna get any. It's a tapped sound, get any. I'm not gonna explain again why, because I think you know now. Get any tip, in the beginning, tip, aspirated, from us. Okay, I told the waiter he isn't going to get any tip from us. And number 5, the last thing, remember what I said when I was doing number 1, right? First thing. That's same thing here. The last thing. I'm dropping the T. I'm omitting it because you got S in last and you got th in thing. Very difficult combination. It's almost impossible to actually say it clearly. So I drop it. The last thing I wanna. I got N in one, as you know. But anyway, it's a very common thing. I think you probably know about it. When you got 1 and 2, you can say wanna. But that's why we make it wanna, because it's not very comfortable saying want to, right? We say wanna. Tonight, the T in tonight is basically aspirated, tonight, because it's the beginning. And then you got the final one, because it's surrounded by 2 vowels, it becomes tapped. So tonight is upset you. And that's a glottal stop, upset you. Now, I can actually change that glottal to ch sound. Why? Because I got t in upset, I got y in you. The combination of t and y together, they make ch sound. So I can say upset you. But you can make it a glottal stop as well. You can say upset you. You can say it in whichever way you want. It doesn't matter. It all works. All right. So that's it, folks. That's everything. I hope you enjoyed the clip because, I think, those details are not easy to recognize and not easy to notice unless somebody tells you that. Even teachers, a lot of teachers don't know about it. A lot of teachers have no idea about these, these examples and these details. That kind of information is very rare to find among teachers, unless you're dealing with a pronunciation coach like me. All right. But I hope you enjoyed the clip. If you really enjoyed it and if you like it, make sure you press that like button, and subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell so you know when I post new videos. Okay. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate the time and you have a great day.